welcome to another exciting video. In this one, we'll be learning how we can create a database using Appwrite. So before we do anything, we ultimately need data inside of our Appwrite account so we can query that data inside of our project. So here, the first thing that you need to do is, after you're logged in, you need to go to your project, and then here you can see I'm under project, then databases, and you can also access the same by going to the dashboard and then selecting the project that you want to work on, and just click on that project. You'll be taken to this dashboard. You need to select databases and then click on create databases. Here, give it a meaningful name, like we are capturing events, so I'll be giving it the name events. And here you can provide a database ID and you can leave it blank for randomly generated one. So let's leave this as blank only. Click on create. So this is going to create a database named events with a ID, that's the database ID. And then the next thing that you need to create is collections. So collections, you can compare it. If you are comparing it with RDBMS, then you can say that these are the tables that we are creating over here. So let's have a collection, and here also I'll be naming the collection as events, as that's what we will be capturing or having in this collection. So here again, I have entered the name, click on create, and our collection is now created. Within a collection, we need to create few attributes. For example, the first one is the name of the event itself. So I'll say name. The size could be the number of characters that is required. And here, that's the max length basically. And here we can say that yes, it's a required attribute and it's not an array type. So this is what our attribute will look like in a document. Click on create now. So we have an attribute created called name. You can see that this is coming up under the attributes tab, and I can go ahead and create a couple of more attributes like the location of the event. So here I'll again go ahead and I'll say, let's say 150, and this is not going to be required. So that's the location. Click on create over here. So we have our location now for the event. And the other attribute is, if you scroll down, called date time, and we'll say it as date, and this is going to be null and not required. And the format, as you can see, is mmddyy, then r min second, millisecond. Click on create now. So here we have these three attributes created. Now I can go to documents. Here you can see that now the button create document is available, but we need to provide some data to it. So what I've done is I have this dummy data with me in the events.json file under data folder. So let's copy this over here. The first one being the name itself. So we'll have the create document button created, name of the event, and then I'll copy this location over here. And after that, I'll have the date. Let's pick up a date over here. You can click on the calendar icon and I'll just randomly pick any date, and that's pretty much it. So we have a date over here. Let's click on next now. So here it says document security is disabled. So what does it mean? It means that I have not yet given the permission for any kind of activity on this database that we have created. To do that, you can just go ahead and click on this create. And if you go to settings now, you have seen the events that's enabled, and over here under permissions, let's go ahead and click the role as any and then provide the default read role. Click on update. So now we have permissions as well. Using this permission, we'll be able to query the database. So whatever document data we are inserting right now or events that we are inserting, we'll be able to retrieve them. So here I'll be adding a couple of more items over here. So let's go ahead and do that as well quickly. Now the next item in line is this event. So I'll be entering it over here, the location of this, and then the date. So here I'll be just selecting the date and I'll just randomly selecting any date. Click on next and click on create. So we have two events, one more we'll be going with. This is the third one, and here we'll be just entering this location and then we'll have the date. Now let's go ahead and click on next. So here you can see that it says choose who can access your collection and documents. For more information, visit our permissions guide. So we have already given that permission now. Click on create over here. So this event, and then we have the settings. We have the permissions enabled over here for role any. And now if I go back, what we have done is we have created a database called events. Under that, we have a collection called events. Within that, we have attribute name, location, and date. So this is like columns in our RDBMS table. And then this is the record set. So you can say that events is a table over here. We're calling it collection. And then these are the records that we have in that table. And that's pretty much it. In the next one, we'll be exploring how we can list all documents from an Appwrite database collection.